You walked into a room and something felt off. Not loud, not dramatic, just wrong. Like the air had a different texture. Nobody else noticed. People were vibing, acting like everything was fine. But you felt it before you could name it. Something in your chest. A low hum that said, "Pay attention." 20 minutes later, someone said the thing. The room finally caught up to what you already knew. If that's been your whole life, this video is specifically for you, not INFJs as a category. You, the person who reads the room before the room knows what it's saying, who feels things before they're spoken, who just knows. That's not a superpower, that's hypervigilance, and it comes from somewhere real. These are the 12 signs, not the celebration version, the honest one. Sign 1. You read people before they open their mouth. Their words are fine, but something's off. Hands doing something their face isn't. Eyes sliding somewhere. And you know, not think, know. Psychologists have studied this for years. Hypervigilance. What happens when a nervous system learns early that missing a cue has real consequences, so it stops missing them? That skill kept you safe once. Now it keeps you exhausted. You can't switch it off. You're reading everyone, all the time. And no cap, most of the time you wish you weren't. Sign 2. Your body figures it out before your brain does. Something's wrong. You don't know what, but your stomach already knows. There's a term for this, somatic intelligence. Your body encodes emotional information faster than your conscious mind can process it. Trauma doesn't store itself in thoughts, it stores itself in sensations. The thing nobody tells you though, you spend your whole life translating that into language, justifying to other people what your body figured out 10 minutes ago. That translation is exhausting. Sign 3. You leave every room carrying emotions that weren't yours. Within 5 minutes, you're holding moods that don't belong to you. Someone's stressed, now you're stressed. Someone's heated, now you're heated. Emotional contagion is what researchers call this. For most people, it's background noise. For INFJs, it's the whole experience. Here's what I think doesn't get said enough. Empathy isn't just understanding someone's pain, it's carrying it. And you've been carrying other people's emotional weight your entire life without anyone acknowledging that's what's happening. That's not a gift. That's a weight you never agreed to pick up. Sign 4. You think in stories, not straight answers. Someone asks something direct. You build context first, not because you're dodging, because the context is the answer. Narrative intelligence is what this is called. Processing meaning through story rather than linear logic. You persuade by showing. You create pictures people can step into. But most people want the bottom line, and you're still setting the scene when they've already moved on. They call you indirect, a lot. You're not, you're fluent in a language most people never learned. Sign 5. You've already lived the conversation before it happens. You're mid-discussion, but you've already run it. You know what they're about to say. You know how it ends. Prospection. Mentally simulating future outcomes before they arrive. For INFJs, it runs constantly with full emotional weight attached. By the time the actual conversation happens, you've had it 12 times already. The real version feels like a rerun. You're never quite here. Always somewhere in the future, bracing for something that hasn't landed yet. Sign 6. You hold two opposite things as true simultaneously. Contradictory things land in front of you, and instead of needing to pick a side, you hold both. Nassim Taleb wrote about systems that don't just survive uncertainty, they get stronger under it. Your mind built itself to be exactly that without anyone telling you to. People read it as indecisive. That's not what's happening. You're holding more information than they're working with, and collapsing it into a clean answer feels dishonest. Sign 7. You sabotage things right before they actually work out. I want to spend more time on this one because it's the most important sign on this list. Things are genuinely going well, and suddenly you can't breathe. Not because something went wrong, but because something went right. That feels more dangerous. Psychologists call this the window of tolerance. If safety wasn't your baseline growing up, Your nervous system never built a file for what stable actually feels like, so when things get genuinely good, it reads that as suspicious. So you pull back, pick a fight, ghost something that was working. And the shame of that, the why do I keep doing this, is crushing. That's a nervous system running an old program that kept you alive once. Until you understand that, it's going to keep running. Sign 8. Burnout. The deep kind. Not tired, fully empty. No casual with you, no halfway. When you're in, full presence, full energy, everything. When you're done, you're just gone. Not dramatically, completely. Psychologists link this to an all-or-nothing nervous system, a brain that never got comfortable in the ambiguous middle because the middle was never safe enough. Then you disappear, and people call you flaky. What actually happened is you gave everything and had nothing left. Those aren't the same thing. Sign 9. You analyze yourself like a case study. Why did I say it like that? What pattern am I running right now? You can't just have experiences. You have to understand what they mean while you're having them. Viktor Frankl wrote about the human need to find meaning in suffering. The mind, forced to make sense of something painful, gets very good at searching for meaning everywhere. Your brain took that and applied it to everything, including yourself. Sometimes you'd give anything to just exist without narrating it. Sign 10. You know what someone needs before they finish asking. You already know what's underneath it, not what they're asking for, what they actually need. Hyperempathy develops in people who grew up tracking caregivers closely, reading moods, anticipating shifts, managing emotions just to stay safe. That skill becomes your default way of loving people. What it costs you? You give people things they didn't ask for. They pull back because you saw too much, too fast, and you're left wondering why loving people this hard keeps pushing them away. Sign 11. Invisible in the room. Impossible to forget after. You're quiet, observing. People look straight past you. Then you say one thing, and something shifts. Not because you were loud, because what you said landed differently from everything else that night. People remember the moments that hit hardest, and INFJs create those moments without trying. You feel invisible most of the time. People remember you more deeply than you'll ever know. You just rarely get to see it. Sign 12. You carry meaning like it's the only thing keeping you going. This last one reframes everything above it. Sometimes it was. You've had to build purpose out of things that made no sense. Find something useful in what broke you. Tedeschi and Calhoun at UNC Charlotte studied post-traumatic growth, the measurable transformation that follows real adversity, not just surviving, becoming something different on the other side. That quiet sense that your life means something, not something you were born with, something you built in the dark. So if you recognized yourself, not the hype version, the real one, sit with that. That's your nervous system finally hearing itself described accurately, probably for the first time. You're not rare because you're special. You're rare because you survived something that required you to become this way. And that room you walked into at the start, the one that felt wrong before a single word was spoken, you were right. You always have been. I've read a lot of INFJ content. Most of it celebrates the type. This one was different on purpose. If it hit, subscribe. Which sign called you out hardest? The one that finally named something you've been carrying quietly. Drop it in the comments. The people who get it are right here.